Over the past 3 years, the Wrestleverse has continued to expand like never before. Sanctioned and unsanctioned fight leagues, wrestling promotions, underground fight clubs, and narrative correctors. The Wrestleverse continues to become ever more connected with each passing second, opening doors to dream matches fans never thought were possible. Now, fight promotions across the globe are allowing wrestlers to compete in competitive markets, creating a broader portfolio for the competitors and a hell of a lot of amazing fight cards for the Wrestleverse. This is a Wrestleverse Top 10.
What's up, fight fans?
This time for sure. So, guys, just a little behind the scenes. I swear I hit the button. I don't know what happened, but we were not live. So we're doing it all again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about for sure. And we were having a great time. So let's just recapture the magic, man.
Yeah.
So before we get into our actual list, and our actual list will be, our favorite MVPs of WrestleMania. I don't think that anybody's going to have a problem with this list. But before we really get into it, we got to do our little rundown for NXT UK.
Yeah.
Let's get right into number 10.
Number 10. So, fight fans, I missed it live yesterday. It usually airs at 4. So, to make up for it, I wasn't able to do the live tweets. I'm going to do a fantastic rundown. So, we had 3 matches for NXT UK. First match of the night, we have the Wild Boar versus Primate. Now, this is a very good match, back and forth. The Wild Boar really acting just like that, using more brute strength than brains, but Primate was able to use just as much power, just a little bit more brains, taking the win, overpowering the Wild Boar, who's left there standing. Dang, did I just lose my last tooth? No, I'm good. But then things take a turn for the Kinky. And we see the Wild Boar bound and gagged, sitting there. And it reminds me of the pawn shop scene from Pulp Fiction. And they're just sitting there rearing back on him, trying to make this piggy squeal. But then we see Jonathan come running in like Bruce Willis, not wielding a samurai sword, but a chair, clearing the house and saving the Wild Boar, who's left laying in the corner like a scared little piggy over the events that just transpired. Now, the next match, we get to see Charlie Dempsey versus Wolfgang. Now, this is an awesome match. Wolfgang really shows off his strength, trying to overpower Dempsey, but Dempsey sets in with his great technique with an awesome double underhook suplex into a beautiful bridge. Classic Dempsey. And Dempsey's the one in the purple panties there. So he ends up taking the win. Wolfgang is left sitting in the corner like, wait, where are my buddies? Where are the Coffee Brothers? Why am I all by myself? And Dempsey's standing there celebrating his win, like, yeah, I'm the man. And Raja's like, yeah, I won too. We're besties. He's my bestie. So I win if he wins. I told him everything he knows. No, you didn't. So let's get on to the main event. We get to see Dragunov. Look at that jacket. Looks like he came straight from Siberia, marching through Ukraine, all the way to the UK to defend his championship belt against Roderick, coming from Florida, NXT 2.0, here for the big money match representing the Diamond Mine. Now, this is a great match. The two really go back and forth, matching each other for strength. Dragunov, as always, giving us a great show and really kind of going tick for tack with counters and having a hard time wearing each other down. But Dragunov is able to set in a very creative... we have Roderick going back and forth with arm bars multiple times, but Dragunov is able to just power through, muscle his way out, sets in a very creative submission and working Roderick, and then finishes this up with a big shoulder spear, taking Roderick out, retaining his championship, and sending Roderick home. So this was a great match. If you missed it, it's a must-see. Check this one out. I don't know what Roderick's going to do. Just enjoy the Rays here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
nice.
You guys
run.
Missed it? Check it out.
Back
it was a good
Orlando.
one.
That's how I feel about it.
So, yeah, let's get into number 9. We have some great stuff for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Number 9. Man, a lot of stuff going on in NXT. I don't know if it's good or bad. Maybe we're going to see some pullbacks, but I hope not, because this is some really big news.
Yeah.
Some really
I woke up to
huge
this and I
NXT
was like, we
stars.
got to talk about it. This is big news.
Yeah.
So
Big
just rumors.
NXT stars getting the move up, maybe.
Yeah.
So first up, Raquel Gonzalez may just be getting that call up.
Yeah.
Huge news.
So this is a really big deal. So according to Fightful Select, there have been pitches with WWE with both Raquel Gonzalez and LA Knight to get a call up to either Raw or SmackDown. So with this one, Fightful kind of noted that, it's almost guaranteed that Gonzalez is going to get called up, but they're not really sure about LA Knight, maybe getting a call up into management. I mean, he's great on the mic. He'd do great there.
I would like it more. If we're talking strictly wrestling and just entertaining on that front, Raquel Gonzalez, I'm so ready for. Like, we haven't really seen a lot of like those super powerful women. We see a few, but I definitely think that she would make a huge splash in the women's division in terms of she would fight Doudrop. I would love to see that. And
that would be a great
she's already fought Rhea Ripley. And I think that on the big stage would be really, really big. And just me putting my own tinfoil hat, I know I haven't been that successful, but screw it. I'm going to keep doing it. One of these is going to hit. I think that we would see Rhea Ripley eventually get that title before WrestleMania 39. And maybe we would see Rhea versus Raquel Gonzalez. And that would be a really, really good match in the future. I would love to see that. Just like as next up, get some new people on the roster. That would be a really, really nice match. Just
like a change of pace
later.
Yeah, and fight fans, if you haven't seen Gonzalez wrestle, definitely check her out because she is skilled and she is strong, especially for her size. She's going to fit in very well. I think more over in Raw than SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, all the women that are like really entertaining, unfortunately, go to Raw. So maybe since the title is like everywhere, it doesn't really matter where you go. So maybe they'll have her go to SmackDown and just beat the crap out of everybody there. Maybe even Charlotte Flair. That would be a kind of cool match. I don't really care about Ronda and Charlotte. That's very well documented.
I think everybody's over that.
Yeah. So maybe they'll have Raquel come in and spice things up. Because honestly, that would be a really good segue into getting, the La Familia in there. You got Legado del Fantasma, Escobar Santos. So that would be just another faction that could get brought in, another stable that would at least make a story pretty good. And Raquel could be the start. Oh, I'm wrong. What the hell am I talking about? Raquel
I was gonna say you're thinking of
Elektra.
Lopez.
Lopez. I was thinking of Elektra Lopez, but I think that Raquel and Elektra would be a good match. Maybe
they have beef. I thought that's where you're going with it. Like they have beef, so bring the beef up.
Yeah, I moved in too fast. I moved in too fast for the kills.
No, but I mean, speaking of staples, though, I mean, there's also rumors that maybe Gunther and Imperium could be moving up as well. Big. That could be. I think he's moving up quick, man. You've seen it. You said it yourself. He's leaning up. He's looking muscular. He's looking good. He's not real good on the mic, but he's good enough. He can talk it. So
you can get him a manager. LA Knight. Yeah, they fought. Yeah. But
him and Omos would be fun.
Him and Omos would be hilarious. That would be a really good one. Yeah, for sure. I think that Gunther is prepped and ready. Imperium could make a pretty good splash. I don't think that, maybe later, but I think that they would be a good build-up. So, yeah, they can make it through. But the problem is, like we talked about yesterday, MSK is now basically no more. There is no more MSK.
Yeah.
So, with that news, it's like, what is going to happen to the tag team divisions in the men's sport of NXT?
Yeah. Even if Braun and Ciampa, they're moving up. They were a great tag team. Yeah. And that's kind of a loss for NXT. So what's going to happen? Because then you could lose LA Knight to management, Gonzalez, Imperium, MSK's gone.
All you have left is the Creed brothers, But then it's like, who are they going to face? Jacket Time? Do we really want to see the Creed brothers in Jacket Time? No. Like, what the hell?
It would be very creative if they would let Jacket Time actually wrestle. You know, because they're judo guys, man. Let them wrestle strong style. And Creed brothers versus a strong style, that would be pretty cool. Clash of styles, man.
Some Greco wrestling versus some like real like Japanese judo. Hard. Yeah, that is dope.
If you've wrestled like a good wrestler, it's explosive. It's very different than like jiu-jitsu, which is very slow and tactical and thinking through it.
It's a
the explosiveness of a wrestler is different.
Yeah, wrestling is a lot of strength. Yes, there's technique in it, but judo is literally using your opponent's weight against them, and the people who can do it are fucking lethal. And I say that from experience.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wanted to get into judo, but that stuff hurts your feet. Like, you literally have to sweep people's legs from under them. And it takes practice. It takes timing. It takes tempo. It's like a dance. So when you actually can do it, dude, it is dangerous. So I love watching judo matches. I love watching things like that. And Jacket Time is really fun, but they are gagged in a way. So,
unfortunately, yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, they've almost become typecasted. That's what NXT is sort of done to them, and it's a shame because they're both really good wrestlers. They're very good fighters, man. Multiple championships all over the world. So we're getting off topic with the main stuff, but I mean, where does that leave us with NXT? If everybody gets bumped up, we're going to get left with a rebuild.
Talk about exactly. It's not even going on a real tangent. This is huge. This is big news because if they get the move up, if they're taking all these NXT stars away after what just happened, all this controversy, then what are we left with? Yeah. Is NXT going back in the dark ages again? Because that's a fear.
I'm saying. I don't want to go through, an Orlando Magic rebuild, and it's going to take, years and years for NXT to come back. We've been defending it for months now, trying to get fans back. And if they bump everybody up and take all the talent away, hopefully there is a lot of talent over in indies. Whether or not they want to go to WWE is another story.
Yeah.
But, there's still a lot of young talent out there. We saw that this past week with WrestleCon. So
definitely did.
Especially with Triple H on the job. I'm sure he's going to.
He'll work his magic. He'll definitely work his magic, sweeten the pot up for some people. But I'm very interested in that. But let's move on to our actual list now and get into our MVP things.
MVPs. Number
8. So there could not be a list. There absolutely couldn't be a list without mentioning Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass crew, basically, versus Sami Zayn.
Which is just a great match. Even the build-up, the feud with Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. If you're not familiar with Johnny Knoxville, I get it. But he made this fun, even if you've never heard of him. And this match was fantastic. It really
great. Was. I loved every second of it. I haven't heard of a single person that had a real problem with it. It was entertainment, man. Like, the pin was questionable because his shoulders technically aren't on the mat. Yeah. But man, you got to take some things for what they are. And this was a really good match. You got to see not all of Jackass, but a good amount, really big characters of Jackass come out and really put on a show. And Sami Zayn, what a player, man. I'm so glad that he had a good time with it. It was just a fun time. It really was.
Yeah, he threw out a tweet saying it was like, this is an amazing match. Yeah, it says my WrestleMania match with Johnny Knoxville is one of my all-time favorites. Definitely one of the matches most proud of. So I've had a lot of great matches in my career, but I'd put this one up with any of them. Anyone who saw this match will remember it, and that's as good as it gets. And I have to agree, this was extremely memorable. And what was fantastic was Johnny Knoxville kind of responded on Instagram saying, I hate saying anything nice, so I won't. So suck it, Sammy.
But man, I loved it. Dude, and just the fact that he's 100% right. If you watched it, you're gonna remember it.
Yes.
Wee Man, those kind of props. Wee Man comes out from under it. We see
body slamming Sami Zayn
balls again. that they couldn't get out. Like, dude, this was a Jackass event. In all honesty, this was a Jackass style event. And I think that Sami Zayn, of course, he wanted. He clearly wanted some Jackass kind of fun, and he got zany. So, unveiling the curtain a little bit, I'm sure he was so excited that this was happening, and he was so glad that they pushed it. You could tell it was a lot of fun, man.
He pushed it. We got to give props to Sami Zayn. He's an MVP in this because he made that so much fun. Everything leading up to it, and I'm sure. Yeah,
what's up,
match of the year? Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean,
it really was,
if you haven't seen the meme of Wee Man body slamming Sami Zayn and it being compared to Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant, it's
so accurate. It's embarrassing how accurate it is, but it is.
It was great
because you would not expect it, but he did that. He really did that. So great. Props to Jackass. Salute to Wee Man. I loved every second of that match. I definitely had to put them in the top 10. But let's move on to number 7.
Yes. Pat McAfee has to be one of the MVPs for WrestleMania. Almost stealing the show, man. He had the most wins.
I said already, man, this is like the second best match of WrestleMania to me. It was so good. And not only just because of this specific match, but it was all the stuff that led up or like followed after. You know what I mean? Like you got to see Vince McMahon make a pop. He fought. Yeah, it was kind of corny. Yeah, it was kind of weird. But I never thought that we would see him in the ring again.
Oh, yeah. He had the most wins for sure. Not only was it impressive wrestling, I was surprised. He was extremely athletic, being able to jump up to the top ropes like that. I mean, he did almost a picture-perfect moonsault. But then not only did he get to wrestle the man, probably the last time Vince McMahon is ever going to get in the ring. I don't ever see him stepping foot in the ring again.
Yeah.
He also got to toast with Steve Austin, have a beer, and probably get one of the last stunners. Like, dude, this guy won.
How can you not be jealous of him? If you could think of the best WrestleMania moment you could ever have, this is it. He literally got to face 2 legends, an upcoming star, win against the upcoming star. Keep his
he got
job.
the win.
Like, this is huge, man. I would love to see him still wrestling. Oh, by the way, this was the first time Vince won at Mania.
Hey, first and last.
Like a coup de grace right there, just to make sure Vinnie Mac
one and done.
One exactly gets his one. But I mean, dude, overall, Pat is in the center of it all.
Yeah,
he is. And honestly, man, I love that for him. He's super entertaining. I've been following him since football, and he was the most entertaining kicker ever. Still is. I think Justin
you got to see him
close second. But man, Pat McAfee was always fun to watch. And then he had his podcast, and his podcast is awesome. And now he's a commentator, and he's the best. I mean, you see him like doing the air guitar when Rick Boogs plays, and I love every second of that. So yeah, man, I'm very proud of Pat McAfee living out his dream, living out all of our dreams. Vicariously, I was up there with him, man. And it was so fun to see him actually have a good time.
Just an unexpected man's man. You wouldn't think of it. It's just like he proved it after this. He's fighting now. He's a guy I'd want to sit down and have a beer with. It's like this guy earned a lot of respect.
Super fun guy. Cool. Super fun guy. So props to you, man. But we have to move on. To number 6.
Number 6.
Now he had to hit the list. He had to get on it.
The one, the only, Steve Austin coming back to lay the smackdown on Kevin Owens.
100%. Great match.
Match. Loved it. Came through. We got to see him on his 4-wheeler, just classic stuff. I mean,
he drank 2 cases of beer.
He did, yeah. The man's guy, and those were tall boys, man. Like my buddies and I, we call them sliding glass doors because they'll hit you out of nowhere. Like,
oh yeah,
you start drinking those 16 ounces, all of a sudden you're drunk. It's like
it's over with. It's over with for you. I know. But yeah, I was so happy that we got to see him, back in the ring. Maybe this is the last time, but what a finale. This was great. You can still see he's hitting the stunners. He still has that same persona. It really brought back that nostalgia of what the late 90s, early 2000s were. That's that attitude era, that DX, all the they were still flipping the bird, and that was fine to do.
Even like the beef leading up with Kevin Owens and getting this pot stirred was very attitude era. The constant SmackDown smack talk, not only to Steve Austin, but to the entire state of Texas. Like, you don't do that. Everybody knows that. You don't talk bad about Texas.
That's why I had to give Steve Austin a spot, but I also have to give an honorable mention to KO.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens really pushed this match and made it good. I'm super happy for him too. Yeah. That main event. Yeah, that really main evented WrestleMania. He pushed his way up. And the fact that he has such good mic skills and such a great persona that you love to hate.
Funny.
He's so funny. Every second. The bald cap will go down in history.
It had me
one of the best
up.
things that has ever happened in wrestling. I love every moment of KO trying to get into WrestleMania. And that whole thing with Steve Austin was the icing on the cake, and I couldn't wait for this match. Even if I thought, I really didn't think that it would be much of a match. I really thought that KO was going to win. Yeah. And seeing Steve Austin really still be Steve Austin was just the perfect treat to it all. I loved all of it. So props to KO.
Yeah.
Salute to Steve Austin for giving us one final 5-star show.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Definitely, man. All-time great. That said, man, let's get into number 5.
Number 5. So he may not feel like anybody's going to do it, but I will give Joey Janela his flowers. Dude, I gotta say, he really put on a really top-notch event. So if this is the last time we see a Joey Janela spring break, this was top-notch. It was fantastic. And the clusterfuck that we got to see was an actual clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, I don't even know if you're going to want to watch it because it's great in the beginning and then it's just
it goes sideways, then it goes diagonal.
It lives up to its name.
Yeah.
And the only reason why it really does that is because this is the last time we're going to see a Joey Janela spring break.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it okay. Literally every wrestler that you could think of in the indies is there.
It was so
anybody
cramped.
that you've seen in GCW is there. Even Invisible Man made a good cameo.
Right?
It was insane to watch what I had to watch take place at 3 a.m. That is a complaint. Don't do that shit to me that early or that late at night. But overall, man, I'm so happy that I got to see it. And yeah, I'm super happy that this was the last stand of it. Joey Janela definitely deserves his props. He also wrestled X-Pac, He did a whole lot that week.
It was busy.
Weekend. Yeah, very, very busy. So this is the last big thing that we're going to see from him. Huh?
No, I was going to say that clusterfuck match was crazy, man. I went back and watched a little bit of it. And wow, you know what? It reminded me of when I was a kid and I had my little plastic ring. And I didn't have all the wrestlers, so I was taking G.I. Joes and Godzilla and action figures and throwing them in there. That's what that was. It was just any toy I could find throwing into the ring and just last one survives.
Yep. And what Himanshu just said is facts. This is exactly why he was one of the hottest free agents. He could literally make something out of nothing and make it entertaining. You can't see that anywhere. You see in the middle of the whole fight, they start a whole match session where they're just smoking weed. Joey Janela gets high with Jimmy Lloyd and they're eating Cheetos and just talking to the commentators while there's still fighting going on. It's insane. And so, yes, it was a clusterfuck, but it was finally living up to the name of a clusterfuck because it was like, I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm just here and I just want it to end. And it's like 30 more minutes of this nonsense, but I'm going to watch. So it's a challenge at this point. Watch the whole thing through and through and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then when you do, you'll be in a special crew like me where you have actually endured the entire clusterfuck and you will not forget it. I promise. I will never forget that experience. So with that being said, I feel like it's only fitting that we move on to number 4.
So this is a big one. We have to give a huge shout out to the new women's champ, Bianca Belair, getting the championship from Becky Lynch, finally taking the belt. So good for her.
Arguably, this is the best women's match of the year. I don't think that there's going to be one that tops this.
Yeah.
This was
just
so
nonstop
good. I enjoyed. It had to be at least 20 minutes. I don't remember. But, dude, we got to see so much action. It wasn't a lull at all. The crowd was going crazy this entire time. I was going crazy the entire time. I was furious because Peacock doesn't let you rewind, which I didn't know.
Yeah, past a certain point, Yeah,
I called my younger stepsisters down from the room because they were here. I was like, y'all have to watch this. And they're like only 9 and 10. And I was like, this is one of those matches that is going to make you watch wrestling. Yeah. It is. If you'd ever watched wrestling before, that Bianca and Becky match was epic. It's going to make you want to see what else is going on. Loved it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. And I really don't see anything topping it. And what he said, this was the best woman match of the year. Yeah, it had a lot of story. Yeah, that's true. They had
and that's exactly why we put Bianca Belair here, is because it's not just because of this match. It's everything it took to get there. After almost a humiliating loss last year against Becky Lynch, fighting from the bottom up, beating the same wrestlers again just to get a title shot, and then just having to beat her multiple times where the belt wasn't even on, up for that match. So she persevered and got to the top and finally earned it. And, Lady J talked about it. We have to, if you look at specifically Belair and her outfits, all the wrestlers have to do their own outfits. Most of them make their own outfits. She makes that stuff. So that's even more impressive because she has one of the more elaborate ones out there, and she does it all herself.
Every time.
I mean, exactly. Knocks it out of the park, and just all the way around. The bottom up story that we've seen in the past year, that's why she's on this list. And congratulations for finally getting that belt.
100%. It's going to be a run. And like Mashu just said, definite props to Becky. This was an amazing, amazing run, and I can't wait to see what else she has in store, but expect a long run for Bianca Belair because she deserves it.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, she 100% deserves it, and I can't wait to see what she does. But let's just move right on to number 3.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of indies, we got to give the indies the credit that they deserve. Minoru Suzuki.
Some of this stuff kind of overshadowed a lot of the WrestleMania news. So there's a few of these people. We did do a indie only top 10, but I mean, we have to say it again. Suzuki is probably one of the biggest names in wrestling, and he finally got some gold, winning the ROH Super Card of Honor, and got some American gold. So this is a first, and he earned it, man. He had at least 7 or 8 matches, I think, or 6 or 7 matches. Yeah,
he broke through. That's what happened.
Broke that wall.
That's why he hits number 3. He broke through the shadow of the WWE.
Murder Grandpa. Yep.
Murder Grandpa. He did so good that I think anybody who was watching any wrestling without just watching WrestleMania, they know who Murder Grandpa is now. They know who Minoru Suzuki is, and this was needed. It was so good, man. And he didn't take a break. He still wrestled like 5-6 times. Yeah. So that's why we have to give him an MVP credit. And over all the WrestleMania things that we saw, all the we're done with WWE. We have to be. These indie guys that we're about to show to you have really they worked their asses off.
And that's
to be in these top spots.
That's exactly why this man is on number 3. He worked so hard, and all these wrestlers busted their butt, man. And it's not to put shade on anybody in WWE, but we have to give props to these guys.
Yeah, and you guys only, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, the platform is so big, you only have to wrestle once.
Yeah.
You only have to wrestle once and you get to rest up. These guys literally wrestled like almost 10 times. It's insane how much they wrestled.
Back to back, day after day.
We're like literally would get pinned or get their ass beaten and then run to the next arena just to get their ass whooped or beat somebody else's ass in a whole other promotion. Absolutely insane what they had to do. So we have to give them their credit. 100% salute to Minoru Suzuki. And I'm so glad that you broke through. I know a whole lot of people know your name, including me now. So yeah, man, big news.
And fight fans, you know, if you're sleeping on them, wake up. And there's a lot of great wrestling out there. So wake up, and we're going to keep you in the loop. Don't feel bad. We're here for you. So that said, let's get into number 2.
Number 2. Man, oh man, what else can we say about this one? The best match, one of the best matches. No, I'd say it was the best match of WrestleMania. Possibly the best tag team match ever.
I'll say it.
Versus the Briscoes.
This was absolutely amazing. This was just, oh my gosh. This was also in the ROH Supercard of Honor. And this, I'll say it, it was the best tag team match I have ever seen. And I've always been an FTR fan. I just love their versatility in wrestling and their different styles that they can do. And the Briscoes I've seen a handful of times, but they're really good too. They're super tough. And these guys beat the absolute hell out of each other. Just an amazing show for a good 20 minutes, man. 25 minutes.
Yeah, dude, it was a long match and they deserve their flowers.
Yeah.
Awesome match. I went back and watched this one and I couldn't believe that this was on an Indies. First off, I was like, this one needs the big screen. This was huge. Huge. If you haven't watched it, shame on you. I've given you enough time. You need to really watch guys. This. Find a way to watch FTR versus the Briscoes. They put on an absolute show. Best tag team match I've ever seen.
It was fantastic. It was nonstop. Yeah. Dax Hartwood was heavy-handed. All that smack talk that he was saying on social media, he showed up and
he brought it.
Backed it up, man. He brought it.
He 100% brought it.
Good for them. That's we've talked about it a few times, but we want to make sure you guys see this match it deserves to be spoken about.
And I don't care if you say that I cheated saying that this match was MVP worthy. It's just that the fact that they both both of these tag teams, all 4 of these men deserve to be on this list. And this is the easiest way that I could get them on here. And if you haven't seen this match, you'll understand why. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they were. I mean, this match was it was a team effort. And for that reason, these 2 teams get the most valuable player, so we'll kind of spin on these rules a little bit, but if you've seen this, fight fans, you won't argue with us. You completely understand.
I promise you'll understand.
Yeah. And honorable mention, guys, definitely check out the FTR and Young Bucks match on AEW. We did a quick little touch on that too, and that was a great match, man. That was a good one too. So
absolutely.
And FTR won that one too. So they are just on a streak, tearing it.
They are on fire. Fire right now.
They need to get signed to WWE just to beat the Usos and then go right back to
somebody needs to do it. Please, God. Somebody do it. And make it an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Just one time. Match. Make it an embarrassment. I would love that. But let's get into, I think everybody knows who it is. Let's do number 1. Now, if there's anything that you know about Take It to the Ring and our crew, you know how much we love this dude and what he did WrestleMania weekend will go down in history as one of the greatest runs we have ever seen.
Speedball, Mike Bailey, baby.
Gotta
Man,
give you
this
your credit
guy
one
is
last time.
fantastic. If you've seen any of our shows, you know who this guy is. And if this is your first time tuning in, get ready because we're going to just be blowing this guy's ego up. He is amazing. He is spot on. He is so talented, so versatile, and tough. He did 9 matches in, what was it, 3 days, 4 days?
Yes.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. The guy not only took a beating, but he handed out a beating. He has one of the coolest tornado kicks I've seen in wrestling. Really neat. But just an overall beast, man.
I mean, you can see the damage from what he took from 9 matches. It's insane. He literally gave it his all every single match. Props to Speedball Mike Bailey. And I heard that he's at an Impact, which is awesome.
He has a match coming up, actually. Oh, gosh, who's he going up against? We were just talking about it yesterday, Lady J and I. Yeah. Anyway, it'll come to me, I'm sure, as soon as we're done with this. But, I mean, Mike Bailey, he's... For me, he was new. He just hit the scene. If you don't know, he was stuck in Canada for some visa issues, and he was finally able to make it back, get that all straightened out, and make it here for WrestleCon. And what a debut. He came out with a fury. So awesome job. Yeah. For Mercy, 9 matches.
9 whole matches. Like, dude, can you imagine the exhaustion that this guy felt the entire time? Like, we literally covered like as much as we could, and we were exhausted. Imagine fighting in all those promotions.
And that's why I want to keep bringing. Yeah, that's why I want to keep bringing him up, man. 9 matches is extremely impressive, and it's not like he was going out there.
Watch all 9 of them. Not one is a sleeper.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Every single one of them was great.
It's not like he came out and was sitting in the corner taking a breather like we saw with Benito.
Trying to get a squash going or something. No, he fought his ass off in all of them. He didn't win all of them, but they were all great to watch.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think in Bloodsport he went up against I think it was don't quote me on that. I don't remember in Bloodsport, but him and Roderick, they beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
But I gotta hand it up. I mean, I'm a huge fan, and he's not going anywhere. He's here. So
and I even said it. I said I saw him before, and I was not a fan. I saw him before, and he had the same move, and I know you guys have all seen it too. That backflip into that knee drop.
Yeah.
And I hated it because I was like, is this all he's going to do? It's like it blew the hell out of me. But he was clearly saving his bag of moves for this moment because he surprised the hell out of me. And that never happened.
He was gone, I think, for a few years almost. Mm-hmm. And in that time, he really built up his wrestling vocabulary, man. He got a lot of new tricks up his sleeve. And we got to see them all, man. So... awesome.
Yeah, we really did. I'm very proud and very happy for Speedball Mike Bailey. Anytime we do an MVP list, he's more than likely going to hit the number 1 just because of what he did this one. So I just got to give him one last props for now. But you want to do our world famous at this point, NJPW?
Yeah. We'll give this
round
list
of applause for our
NJP
our list.
Applause. Very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
It was a great
fantastic list. Everybody that's on this 100% made it. Let us know if you guys think that we missed one. I challenge you. I dare you to somehow replace somebody on our list with somebody that we missed. I highly doubt that you could do it. So show me. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Prove me a liar. Prove me wrong. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to say, Billy?
No, that's it. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you do all of that stuff. For more WrestleCap videos like this, just click those links right there below. Follow us on Twitter. We're going to keep you in the loop, share you with any breaking news. And until next time, it's Billy here.
This is T-John.
We'll stop believing.
Keep it real, guys.